To close this first unit, let's check the summary and the key takeaways what we have gone through in this first unit. Here we have seen how signal can be treated as vectors in the function space, and once we correlate the signals with the vectors, then all the linear algebra, all the techniques we have in linear algebra are directly useful to work with the signals. So that way we reuse the knowledge of linear algebra the moment we correlate signals with the vectors in the function space. So once this correlation is done, then whatever we do with the vectors in the vector space using the linear algebra, the same thing we can continue doing with the signals, and that way we do have lot of possibilities and lot of techniques directly available to reuse. So that's the first takeaway we have, is connecting our signals to the vectors and opening the gateway of linear algebra for working with the signals. Then once we find the relation between signals and vectors, then we went on checking how the vectors are represented in their space. So we do usually use the orthogonal vectors to represent any point in the space. So the same way we can represent any signal using the orthogonal basis signals, and in doing so the whole analysis is super simplified. So the orthogonal basis functions, whatever we define, will help us in simplifying the analysis task. Then we looked at various ways of classifying the signals, and these classification in a different way help us to choose appropriate analysis tools, to choose appropriate analysis techniques, so that the analysis and usage of these signals and systems becomes simpler. Instead of beating around the bush, so if we exactly know which tool is best suited for any given situation, then it will be a boon for any analysis. So that's what this classification of signals in various way helps us. So we go in detail how these classifications help us in the using the signals for analysis or defining the systems for while designing and all that. So that's what we are going to see in the coming units. Then we defined some standard signals. So these standard signals like impulse, step, exponential, sinusoidal, and the signum, the 5 signals which we treated as standards, and these form the building blocks for any analysis. So if instead of getting deep into the system, we can make use of system as a black box and just give a known type of input and try to understand what output we are getting. And we have input output pairs for various types of systems. So say for a step input, so for different types of systems, if a step input is applied, what is the response? Usually we call that as a step response of any system. So if we have a list of step responses for different types of systems, then when a new system comes to us and we don't know anything about it, then the easiest way is just apply step input and check what the output is, check the response, and try to correlate this response with the responses we had earlier for different various systems. And then if any of the responses matches with the earlier known responses, then we can claim that the current system, which is unknown, is in some way similar to the system which was used earlier to get the similar response. So these are the different ways to understand the system. So to understand a system, we do require some standard input signals, and these standard input signals, as we have seen, is a exponential, sinusoidal, impulse, step, and signum. 5 basic functions we had, and these 5 functions can be used as standards to understand the behavior of any system. And this response, or whatever orthogonal basis function what we are talking about, is the foundation for Fourier analysis and system analysis, which we are going to use in the next coming units and all that. So as of now, we try to understand what the system is, what a signal is, and instead of creating altogether new theory for signals and systems, we thought if we can correlate our signals to any known world, then that the information about that known world could be just easily carried out for our current problem. So there we realized that our signals do share lot of things in common to vectors, and therefore the moment we realize that signals are similar to vectors, then the bell rang that we have done lot of study on the vector analysis in linear algebra and all that. So the whole knowledge about linear algebra can be transferred to work on signals and systems. So that's the overall takeaway we have from unit 1 of signals and systems. So keep in tune. We look into Fourier series and Fourier transform in the second unit onwards. So be with us. So hope you are enjoying this journey. If so, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and say your comments, give your feedbacks. Thank you.